That, by the way, that Reddit post about the girl whose husband, or I'm burying the lead. The girl whose cousin was literally dying in the hospital, and the husband wouldn't drive her to see him the night that he was 100% guaranteed to die because he wanted to play Balatro and smoke weed. Every once in a while, you see a Reddit post and you're like, damn, that is like, there is probably at least a 50-50 chance that that person knows who I am. That the guy, hopefully not the spouse who seems to be normal, but there's a chance that that guy for like the whole week had just been like, I can't wait till my fucking work week's over so I can watch an NL VOD and play Balatro. And if that is you, bro, drive your wife to the hospital and then just play Balatro at the hospital. Because now you fucking ruin your marriage, if the post is even real, which it probably isn't. Now you've ruined your marriage. You could have had a wife and Balatro, dumbass. Now you got no wife and Balatro. Big whoop. That describes like the average person watching right now. You could have had it all. Also got to tell him, you don't have to, I mean, Balatro's great, don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of time, I think, before the update comes out. I don't know if PlayStack has released any information on when the update is expected to drop. So, like, he's got time. Scared to offend the weed cells? I don't really care. I mean, I guess if he really wanted to smoke weed, he couldn't drive to the hospital, smoke weed, and play Balatro, and then drive home, because he would be driving under the influence. I don't know if he was high, because, well, you know what? He was high at the end of the story. When she came home, she said the bedroom reeked of weed. But I wonder if actually we can reframe it that this NL viewer is a hero, and he got home from work, didn't know that the cousin was going to die, smoked a joint, and then had to yell at his wife to not get peer pressured into driving under the influence to the hospital. Maybe he's actually a hero for not letting his wife bully him into risking his life and some other people's lives by driving under the influence. That's fucking awesome. That's poetic. Why couldn't she just drive? Problem solved. Well, I think there was a bit of a discussion about whether the person you've chosen to like dedicate your one life to on planet Earth should emotionally support you. She wasn't, if I may, she wasn't really pressed that she was like, oh, I have to drive. She was more like, I'm in a, don't say that. That's really good. It's more like she was in a volatile emotional state. Not everyone drives. Yeah, maybe she was in Gen Z and she was like, she didn't feel like driving that day because she just was a little anxious or whatever. Too anxious to get an Uber. She doesn't support the gig economy. She thinks everybody should have benefits and a union and a pension. It's just how it goes sometimes, man. I mean, that's part of like, one of the reasons that you like presumably married your partner is because you enjoy like spending time with them. What that means is like sometimes you might be like, I really want to play Balatro, but then they're like, oh, my family member's dying. Can you like come with me to the hospital? And you gotta suck it up and be like, oh, I guess I'll spend time with the person who I wrote my own vows and confessed in front of like 100 people that are closest to me that they're my best friend, and I'll like also like committed my spirit to them into eternity and stuff like that. I guess I could put the Balatro down for like a couple hours to drive. Oh, how many cousins she got though? Info. How many cousins you got? And how old are they? Because if you got a lot of old cousins, I don't want to set a precedent that like we're going to go to every, well, but then some of them are just going to die. Not all of them are going to get the hospital exit. Some of them, there'll be like an accident or something unforeseen. So you probably, I mean, okay, chat, what percentage of people die in the hospital versus not in the hospital? I would have to say, if I had to do a Fermi estimate, I'm going to say 25% of people die in the hospital and 75% die outside of the hospital. You know what else I was thinking? It's the opposite. I think if your legs get run over by a steamroller, if they pronounce you dead in the hospital, you died on the Home Depot floor. That doesn't count as going to the hospital and dying. You died when you went to that Home Depot. I haven't been to a doctor in 13 years. Am I cooked? Nick, I'm going to come back to that. But I had something I wanted to say. Because I was driving yesterday and my chest started to hurt, but like just a little bit. Like the kind of a hurt where you're like Like I'm about 30% lower pain than would make me Google it and be like, what does a heart attack feel like? And then I thought, what are you, fucking stupid? Have you ever seen someone have a heart attack in a movie? They go like, they like grab their heart and fall over and like clutch their chest and stuff like that. And I was like, I just feel like maybe there's like a little bubble or something like that. I imagine a heart attack it's got to be pretty painful. In a movie so funny. Well, I live in Canada. Most people probably go to the hospital to have their heart attacks here. American. Probably go, I'm having a heart attack. Don't take me to the doctor's office. They're going to give me a drink that kills you. Take me to the hospital. They might have a defibrillator. Or take me to the Save On Foods. I know where the defibrillator is at the Save On Foods. I literally got diagnosed with cancer 2 weeks ago after every doctor along the way was like, well, you're pretty young. No way, something's wrong. Well, look who's laughing now. Okay, that's, first off, best of luck to you. Secondly, that's really good. And I think you should say it. Because it might be the last time you see your family doctor because they're going to refer you to like a different doctor, right? You could actually change their behavior forever. If you said, look who's laughing now, they would think, oh my God. Like it could change their behavior for the rest of their life and save so many people. Gave him a fucking hearing aid. Same thing happened to me when I was 8, shitting blood for 2 months. The doctor was like, let's see, Chibley. Yes, this kid is faking his symptoms. I don't know what it is, man. It seems like most of the people, well, not most of the people, but a lot of doctors really should have become like detectives. I didn't realize that like the first, and I mean, I guess I'm sympathetic to them that they feel like they have to do this, but I didn't realize that the first thing on the checklist is like, this person took time off work, took time off school, drove themselves to one of the most miserable places to ever spend time in. An emergency room or a doctor's office or a waiting room at some kind of medical services building, just so they could lie to me and get some attention. Okay. So you took a day off work to drive your kid to school who's been pooping blood. All right, I'll be the judge of that. And sorry, as long as I'm... And I think the reason that people don't like you talking like this is because the medical industry is so glazed. And of course, we all want them to help us when we're really sick. But nobody, because it's such a high status job that you've been forced into the track of since you were a little kid we did really well. You were the first kid in your class to learn how to read. And then all of a sudden, for your whole life, people have been like, yeah. Okay? When you go to the emergency room and then they discharge you and they tell you to just go buy some Tylenol. Just give them the Tylenol, man. Why are you always leaving these places with a to-do list? I came to the place that has the medicine already. Now I got to go back to the Shoppers Drug Mart and be like, oh, I've been shitting for 2 weeks. Oh, try an over-the-counter Imodium. This was a really good use of 8 hours of my time on a weekday. To have some dude see me for 6 seconds, act like I'm an inconvenience, and then tell me to take an Imodium. What a fucking flick, bro. Heart and soul. It's got a lot of heart and soul. I don't know the rest of the words, but it's got a pretty good bass line, heart and soul. My wife is streaming Mahjong Monday's Pog. I'll send you right over to her stream. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday night. I'll see you tomorrow for Dome Keeper. A scrammy.